Oh, hello there. Hello there, my loves. And welcome. Don't worry, there's going to be a normal video on Friday. That's what I'm planning. I was going to do it today, but I've run out of time. And in the scant space of time that I've got left before I go to work again, I thought I'd just have a little chat with you. Just something off the cuff, so to speak. Well, not really off the cuff. I suppose I have been thinking about it yesterday, I suppose. When I had a bit of a meltdown. As you know, I am slightly unstable at times. Not dangerously so, but my mood has a tendency to fluctuate. And yesterday was the perfect storm. Lots of things went wrong at the same time, and all of a sudden I found myself in trouble. So for the past week or so, I've been just dedicating all of my time to doing illustrations for my brother's upcoming book. I think I've talked about that a little bit. So these are just black and white pencil drawings that I'm doing for his Choose Your Own Adventure book. And I've been really enjoying doing it, actually. It's nice to be drawing for once instead of painting. But of course, when I'm drawing, the pain is close on the heels of that activity. The first drawing I did, my wrist was just completely shagged, and I thought, well, this is the first and last drawing I'll be doing for this, and probably the last drawing I'll ever do. However, it seems to have it's getting used to it, shall we say, and it's perhaps a good form of exercise for it, which it doesn't really get much of a thrashing these days. I try to spare it most jobs. In fact, my left hand has become meatier than my skeletal right hand. So yes, it seems to be dealing with it. I've done 6 of them now. I'm not going to show any of them to you yet. I'm going to ask my brother about this. I don't want to give too much away, shall we say? I might show you 1 or 2 at some point, but we'll see. But they're fairly simple affairs, and so what I've been doing is doing little thumbnails in my book. I won't even show you that, but I do these tiny little thumbnails, and based on that thumbnail, all off the top of the dome, shall we say, although I've used a little bit of reference here and there, I then sit down to a nice bit of heavyweight cartridge paper and I just start drawing. So these are kind of spontaneous drawings, really. I didn't want to get too... because I've got to do so many of them, I don't want to spend too much time researching and planning. But at the same time, this approach has been really good. It's got to the essence of what each image should be, and I've developed a style in drawing whereby I'll do the line share on the piece of paper, and then in Photoshop I'll add bits and pieces. Just simple things, balancing the tonal values, adding highlights, shadows, things like that. So yeah, it's to give my wrist a bit of peace, really, a bit of comfort. If I did the whole thing as a drawing, it wouldn't work. So there we are. That's what I've been doing. So yesterday, that's what I was doing. I was working merrily. I was about to start a new drawing. And then I got a missed call. It was from the local council. They've got this thing where they want to see all of the drivers, because I hold a taxi license. They want to see all of our DBS forms as disclosure, disbarring, whatever. So it's just to prove that you don't have any criminal convictions, things like that. You're safe to work with children. Now, I've had these checks multiple times and no problems, obviously. I'm a good boy. So they give you an official water-stamped form, and you have to keep that safe. No one will ever see the damn thing, of course, but you've got to keep it safe. Then, on top of that, that costs 70 odd quid for that, by the way. Aside from that, you have to then pay a yearly subscription to an online thing so that the council and any employers can quickly, at a glance, look at your DBS information and see that you're fine, see that you've passed and all of that. So it makes the paper copy completely superfluous. You don't really need it anymore. But then, lo and behold, out of nowhere, the council said, right, we want to see all of your forms. Why? I asked in the email. They wouldn't tell me. They wouldn't give me an answer. So I thought, right, you buggers, I'll do it, right, send it off. Turns out I sent the wrong one. Now, to make things even more complicated, because I deal with 2 different councils, the school is under the umbrella of one council and my taxi license is with the other. I sent the council the wrong one. But could I find the one that they wanted? No, I couldn't find the devil anywhere, despite the fact that I've got a folder specifically for that purpose. I put all of my documents in there. This one has vanished. Likely the work of a witch. I'm thinking it's a witch that somehow got in and pilfered it. Anyway, they want me to have another cheque, which means I've got to shell out another 70 quid. Now, monetary, that is a problem. The amount that I'm having to pay, it's my fault, obviously. As ludicrous as this situation is, they've never ever wanted to see this form before, but lo and behold, they want to see it. It's my fault, obviously. So, but for me, it's almost like a day and a half's pay gone on this for nothing. And back along, if you remember, I had to shell out for a medical. That was £100. None of this is paid by my employer. I work a 0-hour contract. If I don't work a particular day, I don't get paid. So I'm close to minimum wage on this job. It's what, 20p over, something like that per hour? Nothing, absolutely nothing. So you take all these deductions out. I'm actually earning below minimum wage, if you can believe that. But this is one of those grey areas with this job. You have to be a taxi driver to do it. I mean, ideally, your employer pays all of these fees, but no, a lot of it's got to be done by us. So that was in my head then. This was going round and round in my head, and it was a setback. And whenever I'm working on anything creative, I have to be completely in the moment. I have to be right there. Any kind of distraction whatsoever, and I lose it. So this did me in, basically, and sent me spiraling down into a pit of despair. And I don't know what it is. It's like I find that the time that I have between the 2 school runs that I do is very precious to me, because it's the reason I did this job in the first place. It's a piece of time where I just do my work. I just do my own stuff. And of course, at the moment I'm working for my brother, and I'm not thinking in terms of what am I going to get out of this. It's not like that. But when I'm normally doing my own stuff, I have a vague hope that perhaps this time it will be something that will get me out of having to do my normal job, which I do enjoy on occasions. But I'd love to just carry on doing what I do, making stuff, creating stuff. Obviously, it's a luxury to be able to do that, but I always hope for it. So whatever I do between those 2 shifts is precious to me, and there's the potential that it could lead to something else. Only a fragile potential, but it's there. And it's something that keeps me going, largely. I enjoy doing stuff, but I enjoy writing and creating artwork, but there's a certain point where that kind of activity becomes frivolous. When sometimes I'll spend between 4 and 6 hours a day doing my stuff, art and whatever. And after a few years, you start thinking, well, you're just dedicating half of your life to a hobby, old chum. And I'm thinking I'm not contributing enough to getting me and Vanessa out of this place. Because as much as we like it here, we've always rented all our lives. We can't do anything to the walls. We can't put shelves up. We can't paint the walls. Can't do anything like that. And so we're throwing money away year after year. And we just want to get out of here and get our own place. Something to call our own. Something that we can mould into our own image, if you will. Something with a garden. That would be lovely. So, yeah, I feel sometimes that I'm letting her down because I'm not, I could be doing, more career minded. Years ago, I could have become a teacher, for example, but I decided not to. I decided to blaze my own path. It's not really working out. And the more I think about it, the more I worry that I'm I'm doing the wrong thing. Vanessa, is right behind me. She lets me do, all of these things. I'm more or less breaking even in terms of money. I can't really save anything. So this 70 quid that suddenly being popped out of my salary caused me a good deal of stress. Added to that, I've got toothache. I have a permanent toothache since I last went to the dentist. I'm going to have to go back because it's no good. And I've also got a pain in my neck, which isn't going away. I've had that for almost a month now. And so obviously I'm thinking it's something absolutely dreadful and serious and horrible. But I did see a doctor back along. She thought it was perhaps a gland being attacked by a virus. But it's not getting better. It's nothing to do with the vape, all right? Don't give me any of that shit. It could be. But anyway, so everything got on top of me, and the light went from my eyes, shall we say, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if any of you have seen Howl's Moving Castle. When Howl becomes depressed, I get that. I kind of, slime envelops me, and I'm in a pit of despair, and it doesn't matter what anyone tells me. I'm done. It's gone. Everything's gone. Everything's doom and gloom. Rationality completely deserts me. I don't think rationally anymore. Not that I would be, a danger to myself or others, nothing like that. But I can't think beyond this problem, which is actually quite a small problem in the grand scheme of things. But that's the thing, is it's elevating a problem that's quite small into something that's unmanageable. I couldn't deal with it. I just couldn't deal with it. I'm better now. I've recovered. The next day I'm normally back on track. Still pisses me off though, this red tape, this bureaucracy. Yeah, what can you do though, my loves? I shouldn't have. It's one of those things. I shouldn't really be talking about this, really, because it's so negative, isn't it? But I don't know. Sometimes when I record these things and look at it back, I realise, I've got a problem there, something that I need to deal with, and I think what I've kind of worked out is that I need to be better prepared for things going wrong so I can deal with them better. I mean, this is a tiny thing, but God forbid something really bad happens and I wouldn't be able to function at all. So I think I need to develop a thicker skin, or a more rational mindset that engages before the animal instincts take over. How do you cope, my loves, with life? I know what I'm talking about is it seems insignificant. It seems, what are you worrying about? What are you complaining about? It's just nothing, but everything's relative, isn't it? I think, and some people do react differently to different things. And for me, yeah, it just becomes something I can barely, I don't know, deal with, really. So there we are. It's a nice little ramble there, my loves. I'm going to be reviewing a book, but of course tomorrow I've got to drive up to another town to talk to this bastard that's making me shell out 70 quid. I just hope I keep my cool, my loves. They have no idea that I'm a wizard. Let's start there. They don't know. I'm going to have to make sure that I clear my mind of all my most deadly spells, else all hell will break loose. Look on the local news. No, well, local news, national news, world news. If a hellish spell goes off somewhere in Devon, you know what's going on. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. It's a nice drive, at least. Let's be positive about that. It's a lovely little road that winds its way between Exeter and Tiverton, and lovely villages that you pass through on the way, rolling hills, cyclists that get in your way. That's my favourite part. The odd spell deals with them, of course. But yeah, there's something positive to be taken from there. And then, yeah, all will be merry once more. Book review, though, yes, that's going to be on Friday, if I can get back in time to do it. So there we are. Something to look forward to, my loves. Here we are. I'll leave it there. Cheers. Thanks for listening, if you have. Cheerio.